cat didn't pick a random spot. There was always a reason. Every time. Have you been switching litter brands, adding deodorizers, punishing them after the fact, and nothing's working? You've been solving the wrong problem. The real causes are quieter than that. Most of them are already in your home. And some of them, you've been creating without realizing. 11 things on this list. And when you reach the last one, you'll never look at your cat or yourself the same way again. Point 1. Your litter box is almost certainly too small. Here's where it starts, and it might be sitting in your home right now. The box itself. Most owners never question it. It came from a store. It seemed fine. It wasn't. Your cat needs room to walk in, sniff, turn a full circle, dig, squat, and leave, without touching the sides. That's not a luxury. That's biology. Most commercial litter boxes measure around 56 by 38 centimeters. Your average adult cat? Between 45 and 60 centimeters, nose to tail. The math doesn't work. Think about using a phone booth as your bathroom every single day. Same logic. Has your cat ever balanced on the rim of the box, one paw barely inside, body tense, looking like they're trying not to touch the sides? That wasn't attitude. That was your cat trying to fit into a space designed for something smaller. The fix costs almost nothing. A large plastic storage container with no lid, no door to push through, no ceiling trapping the smell, just open space your cat can actually use. And hold on to this for the very end. Litter box problems are the single biggest reason cats lose their homes every year. The single biggest reason. We'll come back to why. Point 2. You're cleaning it wrong. You've been trusting your nose. Your cat doesn't. Here's something most owners never find out. Cats don't avoid dirty litter boxes because of smell. They avoid them because of what they can see. Physical clumps on the surface. Space your cat can't stand in. Ever noticed your cat sniffing a clean box and still walking away? That's this. Researchers placed odorless artificial clumps into clean litter. No scent at all. Cats still avoided them. But a box with mild odor and open, clear litter? Used without hesitation. That's not a smell problem, that's a space problem. And scented litter makes it worse. For your cat, artificial fragrance doesn't cover anything. It just adds another aggressive layer on top. Think of spraying air freshener in a gas station bathroom. Scoop every day. Twice daily if you can. Switch to plain, unscented, fine-grained clumping litter. That single change fixes more than any product on a shelf. And before we jump to the next one, if you've scrubbed a spot and your cat went right back to it, hit like and subscribe. The next points explain exactly why. Most vets don't have time for this. Point 3. Old urine spots are still calling your cat back. Your cat has roughly 200 million scent receptors. You have around 5 million. That's not a small difference, that's a completely different world. When your cat urinates somewhere in your home, they're leaving a chemical signature your cleaning products can't fully reach. Cat urine contains compounds that break down into sulfur-based molecules, ones that cling to fabric, carpet, and wood for years. Standard cleaners remove the color and cut the smell for you. Your cat still reads the spot like a neon sign. That's why they go back. That's why nothing seems to stick, because nothing you've tried has actually reached what your cat is responding to. The fix is an enzymatic cleaner, one that breaks down the uric acid at the chemical level, not just masks it. And if you want to see just how many spots your cat has already cataloged in your home, run a UV light along your baseboards in a dark room. What you find might be the most surprising part of this whole video. Point 4. Spite peeing doesn't exist. Here's the one that changes everything for most people. Your cat has never, not once, urinated somewhere to punish you. They don't have the cognitive capacity for spite. What they have is comfort-seeking. And here's how that becomes a mess on your bed. When your cat is anxious or overwhelmed, they move toward the thing that feels safest. And the safest thing in your home? It smells most like you, your pillow, your clothes, your side of the bed. When your cat urinates there, they're mixing their scent with yours, creating a combined smell that signals safety. That's not revenge. That's your cat reaching for you in the only way they know how. It almost exclusively happens at high owner scent locations, your bed, your laundry pile, the chair you always sit in, not random corners, not the kitchen floor, the places that smell like the person they depend on most. So what do you do with that? You treat the anxiety, not the act. Identify the stressor. The behavior follows from the fear. Point 5. One painful trip can end it permanently. No study needed for this one. Just logic. When your cat experiences a urinary infection, crystals, or a blockage, they feel it most acutely inside the litter box. That's where the pain happened, and that's where their brain makes the connection. This place is dangerous. The problem gets treated, but the association doesn't. So what happens when your cat is healthy again but still won't go back? Your cat, on the other side of treatment, walks to the box, stops at the entrance, and turns around. Not defiance. Every instinct is pulling them away from the place where the pain happened. Think of it like avoiding a restaurant after the worst food poisoning of your life. Even knowing it's safe, you hesitate. Your cat is doing exactly that. If your cat was recently treated for any urinary condition and still avoids the box, start completely fresh. New container, new location, different litter. Don't ask them to walk back into where it hurt. Point 6. Spay or neuter. And age matters less than you think. If your cat sprays, backing toward a vertical surface, tail raised and trembling slightly, leaving small horizontal streaks, that's hormonal marking. And there's a solution with a success rate almost nothing else in cat behavior science comes close to matching. A 1973 study found that 87% of adult male cats stopped spraying entirely after neutering. Not kittens. Adult males, some of them years into the habit, stopped. And here's the part most owners get completely wrong. The age at which you neuter doesn't change the outcome. Neutered at 8 months or at 3 years, the results were statistically identical. The belief that it only works if done early is simply not supported. About 10% of neutered males and 5% of spayed females still spray after the procedure. So what's actually happening in those cases? It's no longer hormonal. It's stress, a completely different problem, with completely different solutions, most of which are already on this list. Point 7. The silent bully is blocking the box. This is happening in multi-cat homes right now. And most owners have never noticed it. Have you ever watched your cat turn around at a doorway for no visible reason? Like they started heading somewhere, changed their mind, and just walked back? That's often this. No hissing, no growling, no obvious confrontation. Just one cat resting in the hallway between the bedroom and the litter box. Calm. Ears forward, still. And the other cat, the quiet one, the one you call shy, reaches the hallway entrance, sees the other cat there and turns around. That's not shyness. That's a cat being blocked from a resource without a single sound. Territory control through presence alone. The cat that turns around is going somewhere else in your home. Somewhere without a guard. The fix is location, not count. Multiple boxes in one room still means one guarded zone. Put boxes in separate rooms. Add vertical space, cat trees, wall shelves, so your lower-ranked cat can move without crossing the other cat's territory. Separate feeding stations too. Point 8. Ages 2 to 4. The hidden time bomb. You got 2 kittens at once, or you added a second cat when your first was young. They got along perfectly. Same sleeping spot, same bowl, no tension. Then one of them turned 2 or 2.5. Something shifted. More tension at the food bowl. One cat sitting higher, watching. A litter box visit that didn't happen when it should have. Sound familiar? What changed was biology. Cats reach social maturity between 2 and 4 years old. Not at 1 year, when most owners consider them fully grown. At social maturity, territorial instincts that were completely dormant switch on. Hierarchies that didn't matter at 6 months suddenly become urgent. The peaceful kitten dynamic you relied on quietly became a negotiation happening under your roof. And your cat's litter box was the first casualty. If your cats are anywhere in that 2 to 4 window and tension is just starting to show, add resources now. Separate feeding stations, more boxes in separate rooms. Don't wait for the behavior to become obvious before you respond. Point 9. A 3-hour routine change can make a healthy cat sick. This one is backed by research, and the number is hard to forget. A 2011 Ohio State University study followed healthy cats over months, tracking sickness behaviors each week. During stable routines, fewer than 1 per week. Then researchers made small changes. A slightly different feeding time, a new caretaker for a few days, a minor schedule shift. Sickness behaviors including litter box avoidance, vomiting, and food refusal, tripled in perfectly healthy cats. What's your cat supposed to do with the information that your schedule changed? They have no context for it. No explanation, just a break in the pattern that tells them something is wrong with what's coming next. For your cat, routine isn't comfort, it's safety. The same feeding time, the same people coming and going at familiar hours. If you've changed your schedule recently, new job, longer hours, someone new in the home, your cat's bladder may already be responding to it. Stabilize the routine before you try anything else. 10. Your anxiety is in your cat's body. This is the uncomfortable one. A 2019 University of Lincoln study surveyed over 3,300 cat owners and found a direct link between owner anxiety and cat health. Owners who scored high on emotional reactivity and chronic stress had cats with significantly more behavioral problems, stress-related illness, and house soiling. Not a weak correlation. 3,300 people. Your cat is reading your nervous system every single day. The tension in how you move through a room, whether your voice is clipped or calm, whether your life has a low hum of anxiety running underneath it. Unlike a dog, who responds to your stress visibly, with barking, pacing, jumping, your cat absorbs it quietly, internally, and their body pays for it in places you can't see. This isn't blame, it's recognition. Your cat's health isn't separate from yours. Managing your own stress is, technically speaking, part of their care plan. And if that feels like a lot, it should also feel like the most powerful thing on this list. Because the most effective tool you have isn't a product, it's you. Point 11. Pandora Syndrome. The real reason cats lose their homes. Remember what I said at the very start? The single biggest reason cats lose their homes every year? This is it. Dr. Tony Buffington at Ohio State University spent decades studying cats with so-called incurable urinary problems. Cats that had been through every treatment, every diet change, every litter switch, and were still sick. What he discovered was that the bladder wasn't the primary problem. It was one symptom of something much larger. He called it Pandora Syndrome. Chronic stress activating the body's central alarm system and attacking multiple organs simultaneously. The bladder, the gut, the immune system, the skin, all from the same source. The cats in his research had adrenal glands a quarter the size of a healthy cat's, not slightly smaller. A quarter. They were wired from a young age to overreact to stress, and their bodies were paying for it across every system at once. House soiling is the #1 reason cats are surrendered to shelters. And here's what Buffington found. In cats with Pandora syndrome, environmental enrichment alone, consistent routine, adequate space, reduced stressors, eliminated 75 to 80% of symptoms. How many of those cats had a fixable environmental cause that no one recognized in time? Cats that owners were ready to give up on. Recovered, not from medication, from being understood. Your cat was never broken. They were just responding to a world they couldn't explain and had no other way to tell you about it. Every spot outside the box was a message. You just didn't have the translation. Now you do.